The countdown has begun to India's historic Real Estate Act RERA, and it is undoubtedly the beginning of a new era in India's real estate. This is the industry which receives a buyer's largest chunk of life savings, but has so far been free for all. There have been no rules to drive either quality or delivery. Welcome everyone to the big debate on RERA. I'm Manisha Natarajan. And let's begin with some facts on RERA. For the first time, 83,000 builders across India will be answerable to a government body for their actions. Yes, you heard the number right. There are 83,000 registered builders across the country. The Central RERA Act was notified on 3rd May 2016, and it was perfect in every which way to protect buyers' rights. Now states have been given up to 1st May 2017 to notify their respective final rules. So far, only a few have. All projects, commercial or residential, above 500 square meters will have to necessarily register themselves with a regulator. And builders cannot launch or advertise to sell a project without all approvals in place with the regulator or RERA. Today on Urban Reality, we ask 3 key questions. Number 1, will RERA bring relief to over 1 lakh buyers stuck in hugely delayed projects across India? Number 2, are new buyers completely protected after May 1st, 2017 under various state RERA rules? And number 3, will India's real estate industry cope with these new stringent laws, or will it buckle down? Joining me today are Mr. J.C. Sharma, CMD Shobha Limited, Gitambar Anand, Chairman CREDAI, Gulam Zia, Executive Director, Knight Frank, Parimal Shroff for a legal view from Parimal Shroff & Co. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me, and let's kick off the debate. Three days left to go for RERA. Many buyers very unhappy, Gitambar Anand, that, states have diluted RERA. Builders are another unhappy lot, saying the rules are very stringent. Where do you stand?
I think, both sides have been misinformed by the media. That
by the media,
absolutely,
all right.
Absolutely.
Do you have some breaks? Do you want to just throw them at us right here?
We can't do that with each other. Off screen, maybe. So, this message, that's been conveyed to the buyers that the bill has been diluted is not right. And I appealed to the media, even in Ahmedabad. I said, you should put things in perspective, because industry is just trying to give a more practical approach to the entire subject. We must understand this bill must work, you see, Manisha. It should
now an act.
This act, of course,
work.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it shouldn't fall into litigation at various, because of various clauses there. What one must also understand is that the sanctioning authorities and the authorities which give your completion certificates, your electricity, sewer, they have been left out of the ambit of the bill.
So that is one area where we are with you, and we have been saying that again and again, that approval authorities should be included. However, you saying that states have not diluted, I think we have to take that with a bag full of salt. Parimal Shroff, Maharashtra. Now, yesterday we had a Lok Sabha committee having a meeting with the officials of Housing Ministry, saying exactly the same, or asking the question on why RERA has been diluted. If I were to look at some of the dilutions, I mean, Maharashtra just doesn't paint a good picture. They will not cover projects with occupation certificate, which means completion certificate is not really needed. There's also authority which holds the discretionary power of either uploading or not uploading information according to what it thinks. So you've gone through the law very, very closely. Maharashtra must be the closest that you've watched. You don't see any dilution compared to Central RERA?
No, I personally think, Manisha, the rules have been very balancedly done. And though it may appear, because there is always 2 sides to the coin, and people have views about the subject. Now, coming first to the occupation and completion, in Maharashtra, we have got 2 types of certificates. One is called occupation and one is called completion. So we need to have a occupation clarification is a necessity, and therefore there is no dilution on that account at all. Secondly, we talked about the disclosure part. Now, the authority does not disclose all the documents produced by you, but on the other hand, when a builder gets into his web page after getting his real estate project registered, he is obliged to disclose all the facts, and I believe that there is nothing to keep back, and the rule provides for it very categorically. So it's a question of stage. At the stage when the RERA authority puts up the information on its website, some of the information may not be disclosed, but the builder has to do, the promoter has to come up with that. So I believe this concern is not very warranted, and once the rules come into action, we'll be able to see that the RERA is to its fullest glory is going to be enforced in Maharashtra, and Maharashtra government hasn't really compromised.
All right. Okay, Mr. Shroff, you believe that. Let me bring in Ghulam Zia here. Ghulam, ongoing projects. Now, the maximum distress across the country today is amongst buyers who are stuck in some of the projects for over 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even a decade. And it seems there are a lot of state RERAs which have left those group of buyers out. Gujarat RERA says that projects covered will be only after 1st November 2016.
No.
UP RERA?
No.
That's okay. Why not?
Gujarat doesn't say that. Where's it?
No,
it was reported in the media. Manisha, that's what I'm saying. You see, you must understand, let the rules come out from all states first and then react, because this picture's been painted, by opinion makers, and there's this reaction that has been diluted. Nobody wants to dilute the act per se. We just ask for it to be made more practical. Now look at this. What is the difference between an OC and CC? Why should there be so many different levels of certificates to be obtained by the developer community?
So then why don't you just bring them, make it one term, OC
That's what
and
we
CC?
say.
The thing is that you can get an OC before a CC. You agree with that?
I'm saying in Noida, you don't need an OC, you need a CC.
Right.
You don't need both.
Across the country, in many of the cities, you do need an OC, and
uniform.
OC comes before CC.
It should be uniform.
So that's the reason why buyers are worried. And you will agree.
There are two issues, Manisha. See. One is this. The other is that there have been stories where developers have not delivered in time because of maybe mismanagement or maybe malified intent.
All right.
Now, over there, yes, these buyers are going to be addressed under RERA, 100%. And where is the dilution? If a project hasn't been delivered for 10 years, those buyers are, of course, eligible to go to RERA and complain.
All right.
Where's the dilution?
Okay, 1st May, we have 3 days to go. I'm sure all of us are reading the acts and making our interpretations. Some of them might be wrong, some of them may not be. That's the debate. Ghulam Zia, I was on you. Tell me 2 big questions that I asked today. Will ongoing projects get covered, and will those buyers get justice? Let's start with that one, because the distress is the highest there.
Well, here I would take a very compassionate way, because, first of all, as we are hearing, these rules are to be really seen its entirety in toto before really jumping the guns and giving a verdict whether it is pro or against the consumers, etc. Agreed, there were a few concerns, and I give it to the media for highlighting it, because at some point of time, the Urban Development Ministry did call all the respective stakeholders to ensure that the state RERAs are exactly identical to the central RERA. So those things did happen, and I'm sure over a period of time, even the states which for one reason or the other haven't really complied or are not giving 100% of what central RERA is, over a period of time they will come online, because there are always issues at local level, at state level. As we're talking about, there are the definitions, the regulations are so different in different states. So for all of them to come on board on day 0 is going to be, I can't believe that it'll all happen overnight. So we have to really be patient. First of all, I haven't seen all the RERAs, so if you're expecting me to comment.
So my question to you is that you're not worried on the dilution part. I mean, this is something which we in media, as Mr. Anand has pointed out, are talking about all the time, but it's our job to be the watchdog along with the buyers. So tell me, you don't have any worries that this is going to be diluted and that ongoing projects will not get covered by any of the state RERAs?
Honestly, Manisha, I had that fear about, say, 2-3 months back. But over a period of time, when we have seen how the states have been working on their RERAs, And even if there were a few, hiccups, they were brought online by the Urban Development Ministry, etc. So let's have faith. There is the big brother watching, so we have to really have faith that during the course of time, even if there have been some let-ups, even if there have been some hiccups, it'll all be taken care of. So I just, at least I'm confident that over a period of time it'll all settle down.
You're confident. Let's get the Bangalore developer in. Mr. Sharma, tell us, 3 days to go. You think that all delayed projects or buyers, the distress is the highest there, will get some justice after 1st May 2017. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. We are not expecting this to happen overnight. You'll have to form a regulator, then you have a tribunal, you need to find officers to man it. We get all of that. But are you confident that delayed projects, justice will be delivered?
We hope so. The whole premises on which this RERA Act has been built, it is primarily to ensure that developers become transparent, developers become accountable, developers bring financial discipline, and they ensure that the customer centricity in their approach, if it was not there, now onwards it starts getting reflected in their transactions.
That definitely for new projects, but for ongoing projects is my worry. Don't you think, Gitambaran, and what will really be required is for probably RERA to take these kind of cases, whether it's an Amrapali or a Unitech or a JP or a DB Realty project in Mumbai, case by case, look at the books, acquire those or auction those projects to some other developers for completion because money is already gone out. The current provisions of RERA do not allow for justice to these buyers.
See, no, they do, but Manisha, it's not as easy as you make it sound that, the project which is not complete but 3/4 complete can just be bought off the books and auctioned. Who'll take it up? Who'll buy it? Because there's no meat left in that deal. These projects will only be completed with, collective joint sitting by the 4 stakeholders, the banks, the landowners, developers and the customers. So like in the case of Noida. So Noida is the lessor and there's the customer, there's the banks and there's the developer.
So RERA alone won't do it.
Because you can't just say, okay, I'm going to take over this project, and who's going to complete it for you? Let's be practical, Manisha. We are looking for a solution here.
Right.
We are not looking...
So let's come to the next one. There will be a solution, but probably not after 1st May. My job today is to set the buyer and the builder expectations right. The second question, all new buyers are protected completely under all RERA?
New buyers and existing buyers are protected, Manisha. Both are protected. Please, let's not try and put things differently to the audience. Both are protected. I'm just saying that it's not a magic wand. RERA is not a magic wand that, okay, RERA is there tomorrow and all this is going to be sorted out. There has to be, collective participation to find a solution. Okay. RERA alone cannot find a solution to these delayed projects. There has to be, financial closure has already happened in most of these projects and still the projects are not complete. So there has to be a middle path. Something has to be found out where maybe the bank takes a haircut or maybe the land lessor takes a haircut. Something has to come forward. It's a very difficult...
But now it will happen?
It would have happened nonetheless, even without RERA, because if you see today, people are going to the government, to the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and saying, we need a solution. And he is saying, okay, you guys sit down with the authority on one table and find a solution to this. RERA or no RERA, these solutions have to happen because these are aggrieved consumers.
Okay. All right. Well, they haven't happened for a decade in many cases, and that's the reason why everyone's looking at RERA. Parimal Shroff, there is a way that this process will take forward or go forward. Each state will appoint the real estate regulatory authority. You also have real estate tribunals which have to be set up. Tribunals will have to address cases within 60 days. An army of civil servants will have to be employed. How do you see that happening at state level, and how long do you think in your own, assessment this will take?
To my mind, Manisha, looking at the rules today, I feel that there is a completely a new hope which has been created by the RERA provisions. It is first time that the real estate law has come up with a comprehensive arrangement in which you have got an authority which not only sanctions, which monitors, which advises, and which has got judicial powers. That's RERA, that's the Real Estate Regulatory Authority. It has to also in time-bound manner decide cases. It is to, if you are not satisfied and if you are aggrieved, you can go to the tribunal, which has to decide preferably within 60 days. If there you again get a decision which you are not satisfied, you can go to the High Court. Now this entire machinery is in place. Maharashtra has come up with the interim RERA authority also. There is a complete setup is ready. The applications are ready, and I believe that the website is in place, and all projects are about to be registered from the 1st of May, including the concern which you expressed about the ongoing projects. I believe there is a complete a new wave of thinking that all the pending cases in which there is no occupation received, however old they may be, they will also have to be registered. And I believe that all this documentation and all this record building which has been taking place is going to result into a further action.
Okay.
All depends upon the dynamism of the RERA authority once it starts functioning.
All right, gentlemen, we'll just take a quick short break. When we come back, we'll focus on the industry. Are the developers RERA ready or not?